Welcome to All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, and this is Affirmation Art Journaling. What if you could shift your thoughts with a soulful art practice that uses both art journaling and positive affirmations? This intuitive practice allows for inner knowing, renewed inspiration, stillness, and peace. Come and join me every Thursday at 4 p.m. for an art practice that's good for the soul. Welcome to All My Art and Soul, and this is Michelle Holden for Affirmation Art Journaling number 7. And welcome to the Thursday Affirmation Art Journaling pages that I put up every Thursday at 4 p.m. And this week is I will take time to notice and be thankful for the little things in my life. I will take time and notice and be thankful for the little things in my life. And I have a whole bunch of affirmations that resonate with me, and I make up some of my own, but there's so many banks of affirmations that I write and take the ones and write them down that I'm really feeling that day or in a few days. So if you are enjoying or following along with the Affirmation Art Journaling weekly pages, I also have a previous 30-day challenge, which was daily, and that was an amazing experience. So if you were following along with that one, please leave a comment. And how did it affect your art? How did it affect you? Did it help with your day? And did it help you connect with, our higher selves? All of those things. Did it actually change or help change your mindset? This intuitive process, our connection to the energy, I guess you want to say, really, really is an amazing exploration. And I love using art journaling for this process. So this is a continuous journey for me, and I hope you come along and join me. So as you can see, I like to use a stream writing type of text just to write it down. Sometimes I go in different directions, and I really, really try to focus on the words of my affirmation at the time. And then lately, I've been experimenting with a more watery layer at the beginning, just so I can let things happen, evolve naturally. And it seems to be working. It's a subtle change, but it's very different for me. And maybe you don't know, but there's so many different kinds of starts for a different effect. Black and white. I'm holding off on collage till later on in the layers till I get enough down. Patterns, just lines, marks. So there's many, many ways, and that's what I'm experimenting with now. So what are you exploring at the moment? And do you join or check out the videos that I have every Sunday at 12 noon? Lately, we've been exploring color. So it's been really interesting. March, we are going to move on. I think I'm going to continue to explore color, and I'm just going to move on to some different different values and different color palettes. So if you haven't already, hop on over and join the Facebook group. And what we do there is share our work, any new things. There's a lot of people just starting out, venturing on this journey, and I really, really love how the group is with each other, and there's a lot of sharing going on, so it's wonderful. So as you can see, I'm playing with overlapping. This is the manganese blue. It's pretty strong, and I used it without mixing. I think, just in hindsight, of course, viewing this video while I'm doing the narration, I think I will add a little bit of black or raw umber or even a mother color to each of these colors. And that's when you take a little bit of each color, mix it, and then go and mix that with each color. And it's amazing how it changes them. So I was thinking shape, and I was thinking just subtlety. And I just saw these negative pieces, open shapes in the scrap bin just over on my upper left there. And I thought, well, I'll just put them down subtly and just see what happens. And I'm starting to do that more. Very important to try new things, push yourself. And I haven't. I've been, well, I have, but not enough. So that's my new goal. And as you can see, I'm taking out some stencils because something told me, yes, my next layer needs to be stencils, but not just any stencil. That is just an artwork on, I think, not watercolor paper, but a thick paper. And I just cut it up in strips, and I love using work that I've experimented with, and I use those as collage, especially on my larger works. That I know I've been saying is coming, and it is. As soon as I get my studio back, we will be starting a whole new section, rearranging things, and I can't wait to show you what I've been up to. So back to this affirmation. I will take time to notice and be thankful for the little things in my life. And that's so very important. So as you can see, I'm just going really thin. I didn't grab the transparent titanium white. This is just the regular white. And I'm just using it really, really thin. So I think what I really enjoy is more atmospheric kind of shapes. And you see this one has sort of a harder edge, and it's open when the other two ovals are closed. And then up above, I left some of that, which I'm glad. Some of the vertical shapes in that really narrow upper band. And I remembered this from the one of the last pages when I put it on really thin. But of course, this one didn't go on as thin as I would have liked, but it's okay. And sometimes when I use a stencil in a previous work, I don't like to use it again. So I'll skip it a few times and then come back. And I love that. That's tracing paper with Posca pen lines drawn on it. Dots and lines, and it's really, really cool. Was going to use the pipe thing, but then I thought, what caught my eye is they were too similar in size. So I skipped that. I go, no, we're not going to use that. We'll just do something else. And just trying not to think so much. So I decided to put that paper down, And I know it's going to partially melt. Actually, it really melted nicely. And I like how you can see the shadows of the underlying layer. That's what really intrigues me. I have a very bad cold, so I'm trying not to talk so much. And I do need a throat lozenge here, or I had to stop my video like 5 times to cough. So I decided, oh, let's just redo it. So that's what I did. And this piece of collage that you see, the long rectangular shape, is just subtle stuff. It could be from my jelly plate printer, I'm not sure, or just a brayer. And I'm really liking, this is tracing paper printed on a jelly plate with teal and parchment, and just layering over with stencils, trying to get an interesting texture going. But I'm going to use some stamping techniques, and I really think a more simplified, less commercial type, so meaning the obvious stencils that are very commercial looking, more organic lines. My marks, your own authentic marks, I think would really go. This, again, is that old piece of, I don't even know what it is. It's almost like plastic. It's an old material that came with some old calendars in the 1940s, and it was just used to separate, but it faded into this beautiful old color. So I'm looking for a difference and some weight in the bottom. But actually, I'm really not thinking so much. It's only now, when I do the voiceover for my video, for these particular ones, for the affirmations, I really don't want to think so much. I'm grabbing some different blues and liking that. And I notice the more different blues that come together, something really interesting happens. So I'm going to take that further. My other favorite combination is Mangenise blue and Payne's gray. The Payne's gray is it has a lot more red in it. And even with teal. So this used to be one of my favorite palettes, this peachy. There's a lot more pink in it, and balancing it off with yellow ochre or nickel azo gold. But that's really strong. You only need a little bit. Goes very nice, contrasting with blue, as you can see. So I like that, but that went on too thick. Or the value was too, I needed it to be closer to the white. And that's much better. And of course, removing some of those strokes and lifting some of the paint off with the brayer. So do any of you use a brayer with your art journaling? I really love it. It's a very nifty tool, and I'm really liking the wedges and sharper edges. I really want to start exploring using the edge of the wedge, the edge of the wedge, just to make lines on one side and then just sort of go off in a swoosh, on the other side. So we'll see how that works out. So just pasting down my affirmation that I wanted to just put on a nice neutral piece of paper, which was a scrap to the side, and eliminating some of the contrast, hiding some of that text. And it's great because your eye doesn't stay on there. Now, I really like that piece. Did I end up putting it there? Yes. It's so nice and transparent. I really love that. And what you could do is, when you like something, really try to identify what it is that is attracting you to that piece, to an area in another person's painting. And then instead of trying to copy the same style or whatnot, try to use that element in your own process. So punching up the orangey feel, this piece of collage is, it's just a painted piece of paper, I believe, maybe with just brush or brayer. It's hard to tell because it's so small, but I really like the texture. And that speckled paper again. So just putting it over the edge, taking away that abrupt edge. And I just keep tearing down pieces just so I can get a different size, opposites, turning them around, and just feeling. Now, the color of this fit so well, but it's just too thick. It just wouldn't go. So I need to find some more. And I like the flatness of it. So it's really cool. So I wasn't sure. No, it needed to go over there. So balancing out the sides and liking those dots, and I might add a few more. I like that little piece. I didn't end up putting it in there. So if you're liking this content, and let me know if you're following along or doing the page when you have time in your own way. I would love to hear from you. And of course, using the white was a really good choice rather than the black. And just putting in a few dots there. And weaving those lines. Now that's quite a high contrast. So after it dries, I usually, or you can, I don't know if I did yet, you can experiment with, notice the lines, the pencil lines in the back are way in the background. And now you have these broken vertical lines, different from the dots below, and then you have the swirling lines. You can cover those up with a little bit of neutral or white paint. And what did I decide to go in with? Oh, a white. It was a hard decision. I think any light value would have worked. So I just, yes, not bad. I think a neutral would have been okay. Maybe even the mauve or the peach, just to bring the eye over. So what I decide to do is, I think, you know what? A real pale, that yellow ochre going a little deeper than the neutral that was there, I think I'll think of using next time. So I started using the dots up here and realized it's too many. So I just did real rough, sporadic circles inside those circles, and I really like that effect. The little one on the side. And then I thought, oh, let's do some white in amongst the black. And then I needed to add a little bit more black just to balance that off, because a little bit of black and white really, really makes it pop. That is a peachy color. So going through that, bringing the eye across, adding some pink. And then again, coming in with that black. And I like this new batch of Posca markers. They're not giving me a hard time like the other ones did. I don't know. Adding a little energy, I think. Okay, starting to look good. Except I'm not quite happy with the white geometric shapes there on the bottom left. So I'm going to change them. And just putting that fingerprint here and there. Then I decided, oh, what if I do blue? And I still don't know if I like those, so I might just erase them. I think I like the rectangle just as it was, maybe with a little texture, who knows. So then I start drawing it away, and I'm looking at those geometric shapes in the lower left-hand corner, and I'm not sure. This was a very different piece. I like the minimal palette that it turned out, that I used. I used some of that red, but I didn't use as much as I put out. It's very strong. So the big reveal is coming up, and liking the ease. Now, there you go. So if you did not want the edge, that's what the bleeding looks like. Remember the last one, I think it was the color one, I went around the edge of the tape with a clear gel medium first. So here it is. And I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check out my Facebook group. So I will see you soon.